What's up, you guys? Godzilla Fan Freaks coming at you today with another figure review. And today we're not reviewing anything Godzilla related or kaiju related. Kind of kaiju related, considering kaiju is pretty much not really. I mean, it's a definition for giant monster, but it could also be a definition for just anything kind of strange or out of this world. And this review is pretty much from something that is out of this world. Today we're taking a dive into other things I like to collect. And today we're looking at the NECA 1/4 scale Predator City Hunter from Predator 2. Golly, that's a mouthful. So just take a quick look at the box here really quick. Let me move this guy out of the way. Set him down here on the ground really quick. Here's a look at the box. Very big box. You can definitely tell how big this figure is. Again, it's a NECA 1/4 scale figure. Very big box. You know, Predator 2 City Hunter right here. You know, nice little kind of half head profile picture that wraps around the corner of the box there. So there's the side of the box, top of the box. I didn't really dust it off, so it's all dusty and dirty. And then, of course, you have this side of the box, which shows you what is also available. And then, of course, you have the back of the box with a very nice picture of the figure, as well as a little bit of a write-up. And then you have all the other smaller NECA Predator figures down here from the Predator 2 lineup that they came out with. Very nice lineup of figures there, but won't get into that. We all know, if you're a Predator fan, you know the whole deal about Predator 2, set in the concrete jungle, killing drug dealers and drug lords and cops and all that other jazz. Pretty good movie. I really like Predator 2. Now, I do prefer the first one, but Predator 2 I really like just because the City Hunter is one of my favorite Predator designs. And even though all Predators look alike, I'll get into why he's one of my favorites in this review. So anyways, well, without further ado, let's move the box off to the side, and let's get into this awesome figure. What do I want to start with? You know, I'm going to start with accessories just to get them out of the way. So again, just let me lie him down here on his side. Accessories. This guy comes with an enclosed Predator spear, and of course the Predator discus, or shuriken, or whatever you want to call it. But let's take a look at the spear. Now, I do believe there was another version of this figure that came with a spear that actually was able that it was either open or you were actually able to open it and retract it. But this one's just in its retracted state. It's very, very beautifully detailed, very nicely done with all the colors of the browns and the blacks and the tannish, and almost even kind of like a gold for the kind of spear ends here. It's almost kind of like a brownish gold color, but very, very nicely well done. It's all solid, so it's a very nice sturdy piece. So dropping it isn't a problem. If it falls or if it drops, it's not going to break. It's not made out of like some resin or anything like that. It's a pretty solid plastic, so it's very durable. But just a very nice, enclosed, Predator spear. And then, of course, the discus here, very, very nice, bronze coloring to it, very nice wear, and I just love all the details in it. I mean, we never really got too good of a look of this Predator discus from the movie, but, just very nice to see all the little types of details and stuff, especially on this side. Just very, very nicely well done. Very nice. And this is made out of a plastic too, so again, if it drops or if it falls or something, it's not going to like break in two or shatter or anything like that. So very nice. So again, with the accessories out of the way, let's get on to this figure. Very big figure. Again, he's 1/4 scale, so I mean he's really, really tall. I mean, normal NECA Predator figures are only going to come up to about his knee, and so on and so forth. Maybe just a little taller than that, kind of like just up to his thigh here. So again, this is pretty much the same thing as the City Hunter 8-inch Predator from NECA. It's just enlarged, I want to say. And I kind of did want to get the smaller City Hunter Predator because he's one of my favorites. But God, I look online and I try to find that thing, and it's just for me, it's too expensive for a NECA figure that normally it costs like what at most $25. But now with the aftermarket, I guess how scary, I want to say how rare it's become. I mean, I'm sure NECA might reissue it in the future in the 8-inch format, but I mean, just for, you know, what it is, I can't imagine paying the over $100 and up. I mean, I've even seen that thing almost close to $200, and it's like for an 8-inch NECA Predator figure, even though City Hunter is one of my favorites, I can't fathom paying that price for a figure that's this big. Even though I really like the NECA Predators, and again, it's one of the City Hunter is one of my favorites, I just couldn't fathom paying something ridiculous like that. So I went to one of my local toy shops here in town called Toys Inc. at the Tucson Mall, and I ended up picking up this guy when they had one of their sales, and I got him for, I forget if it was 5 or 10% off. So, you know, 5 or 10%, you know, you save a little bit. So, you know, every penny counts, right? Anyway, enough about blabbering. Let's get straight on into this review. So again, 1/4 scale, very tall, very large figure. He does not have the best of balance. It's taken me a while to actually position his legs and stuff right to where he actually stands where I want him to be over off to the side over here with my other predators. But very, very nice paint job all the way around. Predator armor is pretty much always all the same color. I mean, sometimes it could be a little more silver and stuff like that, but very nice, you know, worn dark grays, you know, just very nice all the way around for all his armor pieces. His skin, you know, it's pale in some places with, of course, you know, browns and maybe even a little hints of reds and oranges mixed in. You know, just very nice, you know, skin coloring and whatnot. And the detail on the skin is just great. And also, as part of the paint, I don't know if you guys can kind of see the gloss that's kind of on his chest and somewhat in his face and on his head, but there's that kind of shine again, that there's that just kind of that clear coat over the, you know, the base paint that gives him that slimy, you know, type of extraterrestrial alien type feel that the Predators had in the movies. So just a very nice touch there, you know, adding that, you know, shiny gloss, you know, clear paint or whatever you'd want to call it to the figure to give him that amount of detail in the paint itself. Dreads, of course, you know, are black with, you know, the bronze, and they're not really gold, but they're kind of like worn gold and bronze rings around each dread. Teeth, very nicely done, ivory color. I love the teeth. I love the detail in the mouth and everything. The face of this guy is just killer. Very nice pink used for inside the mouth. Eyes, very nicely well done. Get them a little close to the camera here. Hopefully that's all showing up well. But I mean, just overall, you know, very nice, you know, coloring. Again, the skin, very nice, very good detailing, detail and paint with the skin on the hands, all the little black dots. I mean, none of it is sloppy whatsoever. It just looks beautifully well applied, and it's just a fantastic look. Black for his nails on his hands and his feet. But I mean, again, just beautifully well detailed. I mean, the netting on this guy is actually a separate piece. We know how, or it's a different piece. It's not formed into the sculpt itself like it is on the smaller NECA Predators. So it kind of takes a page out of I don't know what came first. I think these guys came before Hot Toys, but you can say Hot Toys took a page out of NECA's book with these figures, actually doing the netting, you know, actually having a netting piece on the body. Because for those of you that remember my review on my Hot Toys Celtic Predator from Alien vs. Predator, his netting is the same way. It's a totally separate piece, which totally gives the figure an insane amount of lifelike, you know, detail. Just looks great. Let's see. He's got his little pouch here on his side with some bones and whatnot. Very, very nice. You know, very nice. You know, strapped over his shoulder there and kind of free hanging. So that's a nice little bit of detail and stuff. You got his thing here on his side where the discus slides into. Very nice there. I forgot to grab the extra hand, but he does have another hand, and it's kind of it's I don't want to say it's necessarily a gripping hand because I tried using it with the spear and he really didn't like hold on to it that well. So I literally, and the discus, I can't really get it to fit in here very well. I probably have to heat this up with a blow dryer because this is kind of just like soft plastic. And I could probably get the discus to fit in here perfectly. But I just have the spear and the discus just kind of sitting on my Predator shelf, kind of just, you know, free there on the ground. I don't really have him holding or anything like that. but I got this open hand, very open hand attached to him right now, and then this kind of more closed hand. I believe this is what the other hand looked like. So again, the spear really wouldn't sit in here very well. But enough about that. As further paint for his dual blades here on his wrist. Very nice, silver color, not really shiny. It's very kind of like, worn and dull, but that gives it, a very nice, just gives it a very nice look to the figure all the way around. Just continues that good amount of detail. Down here on his leg is his, I believe this was his, not the spear gun, but I think this was his net launcher, because in Predator 2, that's when they introduced the Predator nets into the movies, and I believe this was the net launcher. I could be mistaken though, but that's what it looks like. That looks like the net launcher. And that about does it for detail. Just detail and paint job all the way around is just fantastic with this guy. Plasma caster up here on his shoulder, very nicely well done. Again, I just love the face and just the detailing with the teeth and the tusks and how you have the other ones kind of coming out the bottom here. It just looks fantastic. Articulation with this guy, I guess, is what would be next now that we're done with paint job and detail. Articulation. The head you can get to move, left and right very nicely, not too much hinder of movement, you can't really get it to look up and down all that much. Hopefully all this is showing up on camera. I put the camera back far enough to where you should be in the shot when he's standing on here. But, so you can get a little bit of up and down with the head, but not too much. His dreads have a little bit of range of movement. They're not rubbery like the Hot Toys are. They're just kind of like a hard plastic, but still they're very, kind of pliable, so you can move them around. So it doesn't really hinder his left and right movement for his turning his head. The plasma caster it's on a ball joint, somewhat. You can kind of get it to move up and down. You can kind of get it to move up and down mainly. You can get it to turn side to side so much. So like if you turn his head this way, you can get it to turn more that way, more or less. But, very nice movement on the plasma caster. Both arms you can move, forward and, backward. You can move them outwards, ever so much. And then, of course, you do have, joints at the elbows. This guy's just doing his own thing with his legs there. But you do have nice joints at the elbows. And, of course, wrists are on a ball joint, so you can get all different kinds of range of movement out of the hands. And then, of course, the blades. I have the blades retracted out, but you can retract them back in. It's kind of stiff, but they do slide in and out. So a very nice touch that they kept that even with the 1/4 scale Predator figures. Kind of getting tongue-tied with so much to say, but as you can see, it's really stiff. But they do retract in and out very nicely. Get a nice, nice range of length there. And then, of course, legs, as you've already seen, since this guy likes to have a mind of his own with his legs, you can kick out forward ever so much. You kind of hindered because of the flap and the way the joints are and whatnot. And then, of course, you can get his legs to move back ever so much. And then you can't get him to move out to the side, I don't think. I'm trying to, sorry for looking up your skirt, Predator, but I never really, it looks like, yeah, but they're really stiff, and I don't really feel like forcing the joint. Yeah, I think his legs can kind of kick out to the side, but again, it's just really stiff. Just made out of really hard plastic, and this figure is kind of old, and I don't want to risk, breaking it. But I think he can move his legs out to the side. But again, for such an old figure as it is, I don't think you really need to have it do that. Mine does have a little bit of damage, but that's just the claw on the back foot is gone. I mean, that's the problem when you get these older figures and whatnot. So as you can see, you got the claw on his back heel, and then you got the claw there is gone. I mean, I guess mine's the special battle damage version. I mean, I'm just kidding, of course. That's actually a broken, missing piece, which is kind of a bummer. But anyway, back to articulation. You got a knee joint, double knee joint. See, I've hardly moved any articulation on this guy because I didn't really want to break anything. And you can tell that, so, boom, he's got a double knee joint. I did not know that about this guy. That's actually pretty cool. But again, I pretty much just have his legs kind of locked in place, and he kind of just stands there. Again, I haven't moved too much with this guy. So if I get surprised by certain things on him, that's why. He's kind of an older figure, and I don't mess with these things because it's like I don't want them to break. His ankle, he does have articulation in his ankles. You can get his foot to kind of turn left and right. Can't really get it to move up and down, or actually you can. So he does have a nice little hinge joint there for his feet. This is probably going to be the worst review ever on this thing because I'm just now finding out about so many things. But again, that's my fault for kind of being scared of moving stuff on him too much. Because again, the joints on this guy are really stiff just because it's really hard plastic and this guy's a little bit of an older figure. But scaling, I'm not going to scale him up with anything because again, he's 1/4 scale. This is kind of really more of a statue than it is an action figure, even though it is done by NECA. But I think that's about all I got. Just into why the City Hunter is one of my favorite predators. I mean, the Celtic Predator from AVP is probably my #1. This guy would be #2, which is appropriate because Predator 2. Get it? No, I'm just kidding. Terrible joke. I don't even think it was a joke. Anyway, I just love the way the face is. I love the way the tusks and the teeth are. I love the detailing and the paint on the head. I just love the way that it's really snake-like. I just really like the way that is. I just love the way that this guy's actual predator face looked in the movie. I just think it looked bad and kick ass, and you just can't go wrong. I just loved it. I just think that he just looked like someone you didn't want to mess with. I mean, you probably don't want to mess with a predator in general, but this guy, you don't want to mess with him. You don't. So that's my review, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, probably a very terrible review. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Tell me in the comments. Butcher me. But anyway, you guys, that's my review on the NECA 1/4 scale Predator 2 City Hunter Predator figure. Big mouthful. Anyway, like always, we are Godzilla fan freaks. Hope you enjoyed. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you guys in the next video review. Thank you for watching.